Well, good morning everybody and happy Saturday. Welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator, folks. Hope everybody is off to a wonderful start to their weekend. Here we are sitting Miami International Airport in the PMDG Boeing 737-700 in BahamasAir color, or paint scheme, livery, whatever you'd like to call it. This request is coming from Cole, Carey in the chat. He should be here with us. He is the one that suggested this one, so Cole, congratulations. Very few times that I actually pick from the flight request section. Anybody in the chat knows that, so congratulations, my friend. Good morning, Mom. Welcome. Thank you. Love you. Thank you for being here. Face cam. Oh yeah, right, Craft. We got a new camera, my friend. It's an absolutely wonderful camera. 4K, 60 FPS, full HD, the whole nine. Kind of went big on this one. Wide angle lens. It's pretty professional looking, but you know, I kind of feel like we needed it. We're not running at 60 FPS right now on the camera. We're running at 30, but we are running 1080p quality, so my face should look crystal clear for all of you. My fresh haircut this morning. You guys want to check that out? Yeah. Went and got my hair did first thing this morning. Woke up at 6 o'clock, watched the news, drank some coffee with my lady, and then went and got my haircut right away. Came back here, and streaming for you fine people. And guess what? I am enjoying a nice mimosa, so cheers everybody. Happy Saturday. Wait a few minutes for everybody to get in here and pile on board. 2 legs today, everybody. Our first leg is taking us from Miami, where we are now, to Nassau in the Bahamas, and then we will be going from Nassau to Fort Lauderdale, also in Florida. 2 generally shorter legs today, about 45 minutes to an hour per leg. Should be really fun. Of course, we have the 737-700, with the smaller of the PMDG series right now. My personal favorite Boeing 737 is the 700, so absolutely looking forward to this one. I'll be hopping off in a few minutes. I have to leave to the desert. Alright, right, Craft, that sounds fun. Bring plenty of water. Make sure you're hydrated in the desert, because they can get quite hot. Unless you meant dessert, in which that's the case, enjoy. Alright. The airplane's completely cold and dark, everybody. What we have to do is get inside the flight deck, get her completely powered up, and get our flight plan entered into the FMC, get our performance calculated, set up the autopilot, get the overhead configured, make sure our fuel and payload is all set, make sure our weight and balance is all set, and then we'll be able to go ahead and get on the road. So without further ado, let's hop inside the flight deck and get everything going. Alright, like I said, completely cold and dark. There was one thing I need to do, though, and that is turn down the volume to the SID, and another one, go ahead and turn down that godforsaken airport ambience tab in the FSRealistic section, because my god, that is just ear-piercingly loud. There's nothing I like more than a good Pratt & Whitney engine or a JTAD in my ear, because that's music to my ears, but dear god, with these headphones on, man, it can be overbearing. Anyways, now that we have that turned down, let's go ahead and hop right up to the overhead panel. First thing we're going to do is close our battery guard and get our AC power source. Make sure it's on ground power. Switch this down here to standby power and come over here. We have ground power connected to the airplane, so we're just going to click this down. There we go, ground power coming to life. You can hear our systems turning on. We're going to get our emergency exit lights armed. Make sure our positioned and lights are set to steady, which they are by default. And then we are going to come up just a little more, peek ourselves up just to the more northern end of the overhead, and get our IRSs over to the nav position to get our FMC started and ready to go. We're going to come right down here, and the first thing we are going to take care of is we're going to come over here to FS Actions. We are going to go to Fuel. We need to get our fuel and payload all set up and ready to go in order for us to go anywhere. So first off, let's bring up our OFP. You know, I can't wait for PMDG to release their EFB, man. Anybody know? Anybody have any estimated time frames? Have they released anything in regards to that at all? I thought it was supposed to be released with the 900, and we didn't get it. So at this point, I've given up all hope. Anyways, our block fuel for this flight is going to be 10,686 pounds. So we're going to go ahead and enter that in, 10,686. Click that little doodad there. There we go. 23.2% of our fuel is in. Come over here to our payload. It looks like total our zero fuel weight today is 115,300 pounds. So we're going to go 115.3, enter that in, and that gives us 122 passengers out of 148 possible. So quite a bit of extra seats for everybody. So feel free to move about the cabin and take one of those extra seats if you want as we go about our flights. Alright, so now that that's all set and ready to go, our weight is good. Let's go over here and get our IRS position in, because the FMC was just yelling at us about that. So we're going to come over here and get that nav data out of date message going. We're going to get our last position, enter it in. That's just what I do. I take a shortcut. You know, I'm not going to look up the reference airport in the gate or anything like that. No need. We're going to come over here to routes, everybody. We are going Kilo Mike India Alpha. And we are going to... should be Mike Yankee November November. That is correct. Mike Yankee November November for Nassau, everybody. We are going to Grand Bahama International Airport. We are going to the Bahamas, folks. Everybody get their swim trunks on and get ready to get some margaritas down your throats. In Nassau should be really fun. Our flight number today is going to be Uniform Papa 222 going into the flight number slot. And if we take a look at our briefing and our routing, it looks like we are departing out of Miami via 26 left, so we'll go ahead and populate that as well. Absolutely amazing, wonderful, folks. Okay, come over here now. We got to get our route populated. Actually, before we do anything else, what am I thinking? We got to go to our departures and get that all entered in. We already said we're taking 26 left, so that is already selected. We are taking the Clada 2 departure. We have the Clada 1 close enough. That's because PMDG has outdated nav data. My goodness. We're going to take the Ray J transition as well. Hope Kim K isn't here. Our arrival is going to be on runway 14. We're going to take the ILS because why wouldn't we? And it is a direct arrival, no stars. Wonderful. We're going to come over here to our legs and we are going to check our plan out. We are going to scroll this over to the right once until we get to plan, and we are just going to simply hit the step key and just get through each and every single one of our waypoints, make sure there's no loopsy-loops, no barrel rolls, nothing we need to be concerned about. And there we go, we have a discontinuity right there, which is going to Muni. So what we're going to do is we're going to click this, should copy it right over, which it did, hit the previous button on our pages and populate right there into our flight plan, and we are good to go now from there. There's where we're going to capture the ILS and right in to Nassau. Alright, I am perfectly happy with that, everybody. So what we're going to do, come back to our routes, we're going to activate and execute our flight plan. Lovely, there's nothing further we need to do with that. Bring that back to map, and we are good to go. Next thing we are going to do is populate our performance. I haven't checked the chat in a while, so let me go ahead and check everybody out. So we'll click on perf in it there, and we will go back outside and take a look at our airplane. And never mind, in regards to the chat, nobody else has said anything, so I have 6 people in here, so feel free to chat up, everybody. Ask me some questions. Hope everybody's having an absolutely fantastic start to their week so far. We have pretty crappy, snowy conditions here ourselves. In the window behind me, you can see it's kind of gray, kind of bleak, and very bright. Yeah, we had a very wet snowstorm last night that turned to rain and sleet at about 4 a.m., and luckily the roads were cleared. RIDOT, Rhode Island Department of Transportation, good job in regards to that and getting our roads nice and down to pavement for us this morning. The last snowstorm we had, they didn't do too good of a job, unfortunately. The roads are pretty icy and pretty gross, seeming as we had like 2 days warning before a major snowstorm. You would have thought they would have been on top of it, but nope. That is New England for you. And remember, everybody, if you haven't done so already, please hit that like button on this stream. And if you're new here, you're enjoying what you're seeing, hit that subscribe button as well and turn on notifications for the channel so you'll never miss when I go live or post any content. I post anything on here, basically from flight simulation. You'll even see some submarine simulation stuff on there. And recently, I was even thinking about doing some train sim stuff, which is just absolutely crazy. But what kind of sparked that interest again with me is when I had to travel for work recently, and I hopped on the MBTA, Massachusetts Bay Train Authority, their public rail system, And it was very fun, and I just said, you know what, wow, that would be cool to do too, driving a train, just being responsible for a big heavy vehicle. Yeah, anything like big heavy vehicles I'm just a huge fan of. Tractor trailers, buses, you can ask my mom, MamaMB, she's in chat, you can ask her. Everything for me was big rigs, dump trucks, tractor trailers, ships, airplanes, excavators, backhoes, you name it. Bulldozers. I mean, when I was a kid, big heavy machinery, diesel was just my thing, and ultimately it settled on airplanes when I was just starting to become a teenager. Yeah, man, what a trip, thinking about everything going back in time. Anyways, enough down the emotional railroad. Let's get back in the flight deck here, folks, and let's get the rest of our situation figured out as far as our flight plan goes. We're just going to click 0 fuel weight here to populate that automatically. There it is. Our reserve fuel, we need to bring up our OFP once more, and it looks like we are taking 2,138 pounds of reserve fuel. Our cost index on this leg is going to be 32, and our cruising altitude is going to be 29,000 feet. There it is right there. We'll execute that. Our average cruise wind is coming in from a direction of 234 degrees. Unable on the cruising altitude, huh? It says our max is 245. Alright, so we'll take it. We're going to go 24,500, folks, on the cruising altitude. There we go. We'll execute that in. No big deal. That's going to affect our cruise wind, so bear with me just a moment. I just need to look at our OFP. Scroll all the way down here and just have a look at what the average cruise wind is going to be now that we kind of mixed that up. Okay, looks like it is going to be 240 at 32, so really no different at all, only about 2 knots less. So the wind is coming in from 242 degrees. Dyslexia, work with me here. 24 degrees at 34 knots. Alright, lovely. Come over here to our N1 limit. We're going to do 62 degrees on the selected temperature, which is no big deal. We'll go a regular thrust setting, and we'll go a regular climb as well, just so we can rocket ship up on out of here. We're going flaps 5 degrees, CG percentage coming in at 18.2 for a trim value of 6.32, and there are our V speeds. A very nice and light V speed for us. Isn't a very long flight at all. Only about 45 minutes or so, probably even less, to be completely honest with you. Probably be about 35 minutes, and that goes same with the leg back to Fort Lauderdale. Alright, our performance is all set and ready to go. Our flight plan is all set up, guys. We are looking pretty golden, and we are pretty much ready to go with a few preliminary things we have to do with the overhead and our autopilot. So the one thing I'd like to do is get this over to Prague to get our progress all set up. Pop up over to the overhead panel now. We're going to get our APU all fired up and ready to go. We're going to get our left aft fuel pump up and running to supply fuel to the auxiliary power unit. We will get our master start switch onto on, and then clicker down into the start position. Come and look over here at our exhaust gas temperature and just ensure that that needle is going to start rising, indicating that our APU is firing up. Low oil pressure, that's a good sign. Means the starter motor has engaged. And we should be getting our exhaust gas temperature introduced any second now as fuel goes. There it is. Okay, wonderful. What we're also going to do is we're just going to go back up to the overhead and get our fasten seatbelt signs into the auto position and our no smoking sign into the on position. Alright, as the APU is firing up, there's nothing really we can do up here other than getting our cruising altitude entered in, which is going to be 24,500 feet. And then our landing altitude, if we come over here and check our charts, it's looking like is going to be 16 feet, so we'll just leave that little doohickey at 0 there. And we'll just wait for our APU to spool up before we continue. We'll see some good views today. Oh yeah, should be some good ones. The lovely water off the coast of the Bahamas should be absolutely wonderful, especially leaving Miami as well, same thing. Cheers, folks. Nothing like a good mimosa, huh? Alright. I love flying. The 737-700 is my personal favorite 737. I would say behind this one would be the 737-200, and then after that would be the 3 and 400, the classic. I can't wait for PMDG to release the Max, though. I'm a big believer in flying a lot of modern stuff. I mean, every now and then we will do a classic type airliner type deal, but there's just not a lot of the classic airliners out yet for this sim. They're coming, guys. They're absolutely coming, but just... it's a matter of time, you know? And then also, guys, let me know if you'd like for me to set up a Yoke camera. I mean, I know that's kind of very standard across everybody that streams. They kind of have their control surfaces in view so you can see what I'm doing as I'm flying the airplane. If that's something you guys are interested in, please let me know, because I can mount something over here on the left side of my desk. I mean, yeah, you'll see my legs. I mean, it might be a little bit weird, but you'll be able to actually see me applying the controls a lot more, and I'll put that view on during landing. If that's something that interests you guys, please let me know. I can get that set up. I've seen a couple of other streamers with it, not trying to cramp their style or anything, but I've seen a few people do it and figured that would be kind of cool. So let me know if that's something that you guys would be interested in seeing, and I'll see if I can enact that as soon as possible. Let's head back inside the flight deck now and get the rest of our situation settled, seeming as it's been over 1 minute, and you need to wait 1 minute to activate the APU bleed on a 737, so I figured we'll just chit-chat for a second. Get our APU gens on now, looking wonderful, and we will come over here, get our AC source to APU gen. Also, what we are going to do is get our APU bleed on as well, and our packs onto auto. That's going to get some nice cool air circulating on throughout the cabin for everybody. What we're going to do as well is we're going to get our yaw damper into the on position. We're going to get our window heats on as well. Probe heats will stay excuse me. Probe heats will stay off for now until we're ready to push. We'll get our hydraulic pumps on also. Everything is looking good. We're just going to give everything the once over on the overhead panel, folks. If you want to follow my mouse cursor, we'll be able to see what I'm looking at. Yaw damper is on with the light extinguished. Our navigation, every switch should be set to normal, which it is. Our display source should be auto. Control panel should be set to normal. Our fuel temperature is looking good within acceptable limits. Left pump is on for engine for APU start and run. That will be normal for now. Standby power is good. APU gen is good. Clasps are closed here on the drive disconnect switches and standby power switches. Ground power is still illuminated, so that's actually something that we need to do. We're going to come down here, come over to our FS actions, ground services, and release the ground power unit. And make sure our parking brake is set, which it is. Alright, continuing along with the overhead checks here. APU is still running. Exhaust gas temperature looks normal. Wipers we're not going to worry about. They are not required. Lighting above the overhead is good. Equipment cooling is set to normal. Emergency exit light switches are armed. Our signs are looking good. Window heats are on, probe heats are off, hydraulic pumps are on, engine de-icing is not required at this moment. Alright, everything's looking good here, everything's looking good here. We got nice cool air going in for everybody sitting here in Miami. Here, but I do enjoy seeing your face, but you are biased. Oh, mama, I know. Everything's looking good as far as our bleed is concerned. We're going to keep our temperature switches to auto. Left packs are on auto, looking good. Isolation valve is open. APU bleed looking good. There's our altitude set in. Our landing altitude is staying to 0. Alright, everybody, we are pretty much good to go. Let's get ahead and get a look at our wing views here. Let's just make sure... Oops, well, we're blocked by the jetway on that one. But let's make sure that we have good views. Look at those engines, nice and blue. Wonderful. Let's prepare our pushback. Let's take a look at our charts and make sure we know where we are going. We are departing. What did we say? I think we said 26 left, right? Yes. 26 left. There she is, which means we are going to push back out and to our right. Pre-planned push. And I haven't been using GSX lately, folks, and I apologize for that if anybody has been noticing that GSX really hasn't been a thing. I apologize. I just noticed that ever since I've stopped using GSX, you know, I've stopped having problems with, you know, random engine failures and stuff like that. And that kind of stuff really for me is a big immersion killer. When we just have continuous bugs caused by third-party software, that really just kills it for me. So GSX is on hold for now, everybody. I figured I'd say that because I just have nothing but problems with it. And the airplanes I like to fly, even though the 7.3 is pretty standard for GSX at this point, I'm just not even taking a chance. I've just had terrible luck with it. So GSX for now, folks, even though it's still installed so we can get the jetways and everything like that it offers in the different ground vehicles, that's primarily what we are using it for at this point. I don't think we'll be pushing back any longer with it. It's a big immersion killer for me, and honestly, you want to know what my biggest gripe about it is? I hate it that when you're pushing back with GSX, that the airplane just stops. There's no slowdown from the tug. It just, you're moving at about 3 knots and it just stops. Like, and it's like, come on, man. That's like Flight Simulator 1998. Like, why can't we get, like, you know, why can't we get a smooth stop? And for me, the amphibious pilot's pushback kind of has that. And honestly, that's what keeps me from using GSX. Call me what you will. But that just kind of really bugs me. Anyway, we got to get our autopilot all set up and ready to go. We're going up to flight level 245, everybody, 24,500 feet. Not a very high altitude for this one. Our runway heading with this one is going to be 272 degrees. So we'll just go ahead using our Honeycomb Bravo, or is this the Alpha? I think it's Bravo. The throttle quadrant from Honeycomb, an absolutely wonderful peripheral, everybody. If that's something you can save your pennies towards, I would definitely do it because it is phenomenal. And then we need our V2 plus 10 speed, which means we need to come over here to our takeoff data, which is going to be 142. Alright, awesome. Let's go ahead and get our auto throttles armed. Flight directors armed as well. Auto brake to RTO. We will come down here and get our transponder all set also. Squawking 1200 and get it armed. Lovely. Alright, looking good. We are pretty much ready to push. So what we are going to do is come down here, come back over to our FS Actions ground services. We are going to release the jetway and remove the wheel chocks. There we go. Our jetway is now disconnecting. We are going to start engine number 2 first, folks. That would be this one right here. So without further ado, what about you say we get going? We are going to get our anti-collision lights turned on to let people know we are starting engines. Our packs are going to come off. We are going to come up to our pushback tool here. We're going to request push. And if we look outside, the jetway will be connecting, or the jetway, my goodness, the pushback tug will be connecting to our airplane. It's coming in at quite the harsh angle. Don't hit our front tire there, bud. You better back up, throw it in reverse. Or not. Yeah, go ahead. Grind right up against that fuselage. They were designed to withstand tremendous scratches from pushback tugs. So it's okay. It's his first day on the job. Give him a break. CPH, what's going on, bud? Welcome. Wow. What an angle to push us back from. Alright. Let's get going, everybody. Let's come down here. Let's disconnect our parking brake. There she goes. We're going to click the hold button. Pushback has commenced. Let's come up top. We're going to turn number 2 first. Number 2 coming down to ground. Let's head downstairs. See, N2 is rising. N1 beginning to rise as well. Oil pressure coming up. You have 1, 2. We'll wait to 3. 3. There she goes. Everything's looking normal. N2 up to 25%, folks. We will initiate fuel flow and hop over to the wing and have a listen. Enjoy. Alright, sounds like we have a good start of engine number 2, ladies and gents. Foot, my friend, welcome. We're going to go ahead and turn engine number 1, bring this down to ground. Have a look over here. We have some N2 rotation. N1 rotating as well. Oil pressure building. We have 1. We have 2. And waiting for 3. There's 3. 25% N2. We introduce fuel flow. We'll pop over the wing and have a listen. Enjoy. Sorry, I missed last stream. We streamed at 1 a.m. Yeah, man, that's just our time zone differences. That was 4:30 in the afternoon for me. Alright, guys. Looking good. Sounds like we have 2 good engine starts. Let's come up to the overhead panel. We never got our fuel pumps turned on. Whoops. Let's go ahead and activate our engine generators now. Looking good. We'll get our AC source over to Gen 1. Switch this up to battery. We'll go ahead and get our packs on now. Isolation valve will come to auto. APU bleed will come off, and APU will come off in general. Lovely. We'll get our taxi lights on as well. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to come over to our wing view here. Wow, we are rolling. Did we forget the parking brake? I believe so. No one contact the FAA, alright? Thanks. Alright, we're going to come over here to the wing view. We're going to get a flight control surface test in. We're going to go full left aileron, looking good. Full right aileron. Let's head over to the other wing view here and get the same thing going. We're going to go right aileron, looking nice, and left aileron looking good as well. And let's go flaps 5 degrees. Am I flying the 225 tomorrow? Correct. That is correct, Mr. Foot, so you better be there. 9 a.m. Eastern, nice and early for you. Do I prefer the 737-800 no split scimitar or with the scimitar? I mean, they look cool. I'm sorry I'm having such a hard time answering such a basic question. It's a difficult question. CPH, you got me on that one. You know, I'm gonna go with the scimitars. So, judge me if you will. But I like the little extra shape it gives it on the end, but the little extra flair that it gives the wingtips. It just makes it look more cutting edge and modern. And I don't know, it just makes it look like it slices through the air. That's why I like it. Alright guys, we are pretty much ready to go. Everything is looking good here. We're going to release our parking brake. We are going to give us some power, and we are going to pull on away. Okay. And away we go. Let's find out exactly where we are going to be taxiing here. Geek is in the house. What's going on, my friend? Welcome. We have a mod, 2 mods in chat now. Foot and Geek, the old duo, back in business. Cheers, my friends. Hope you are having an absolutely wonderful weekend. Alright. Let's go ahead and get this taxi underway. We are going to take a left up here onto November 8. And then a right onto taxiway Mike. How fitting, my first name. I feel special. And then right after departure, folks, Captain Branconier needs to use the restroom. Because, boy, let me tell you, he didn't plan his pre-trip very well. Took that turn super wide. Hanging out like a hair in a biscuit. Oh, yeah. Foot stole my noodles. You know, I've been meaning lately, and I've said this a few times, and like, obviously, personally, I've been meaning to make a good wonton soup, and I just haven't gotten around to it. I've talked about it so much, and when I say like a wonton soup, make it homemade. You know, get the beef, the fresh wonton wrappers, nice stock. Man, nothing I love more than Chinese food. That's why, I mean, obviously, completely different countries, so I feel like a fool saying this. But, that's why Japan is one of my bucket list places to travel. The culture, the food, everything is just, Japan just seems like such a wonderful place to visit. Alright, runway 26 left is going to be up here on our left, everybody. We are very close to departure, so everybody get buckled in and ready to go. Make sure that you have your devices in airplane mode and everything's stowed so nothing falls out onto you. And if something does fall out onto you and hit you on the noggin, it is not my fault. I assume no responsibility. Thank you for understanding. Alright, Foot, he is here. Ooh, you know what we never did? We are forgetting something. Yep, our trim 6.32. There it is. Figured I was forgetting something. Always do, right? Turn and burn, absolutely, you know it. Alright, landing lights coming on. Turn-offs coming on as well. Logos coming on and strobes on as well. Enjoy the departure, everybody. Simulator volume will be being cranked momentarily. Butter this takeoff. We'll try. Flaps 5. Oh yeah. All right. Enjoy, everybody. Throttle levers coming up to 40%. And pressing toga. Enjoy. Airspeed's live.
knots.
V1.
V1. Rotate.
Rotate. V2, positive rate, coming up. A little bit of a blustery takeoff here. Getting bumped around by some turbulence. Boy. Alright, we are going right into climb mode here, folks. 92.3% N1 up we go. 20 degrees of bank. Let's go ahead and get right off the bat. Let's get our VNAV and our LNAV initiated. We're going to get autopilot thrown on. Lovely. Alright, flaps coming to 1 degrees. climbing like an absolute bat out of hell. 4,000 feet per minute on this climb. We are rocket shipping out of here, folks, just like we planned. We're going to go ahead and turn down the sim volume just a little bit. The AN225 would be my most favorite stream of yours. Well, my friend, I have been begging since I was a teenager for a proper Antonov AN225 to release, and looks like we are finally getting our wishes, which I am beyond excited for. So really, really looking forward to that one, indeed. Have I tried Prime before? You mean the drink, the Logan Paul drink? No, I have not. Nicola, hello my friend, welcome. A little turbulent flying out of Miami today, huh? You should try it. Yeah, you know, I've seen it around in a couple local stores. I just haven't gotten around to trying it yet. I'm not a very big fan of sports drinks in general. I've drank them in the past, but usually, typically what I do is I focus mainly on like BCAAs, branched chain amino acids, which is just like a flavored drink packet that I kind of just put in my water bottles. It's what's in here. What's in here? My big old Stanley cup. Have I thought about getting the 900? So, yes, I have, and that's going to be a no, unfortunately. I will not be acquiring the 900, and not that it's just not an airplane of, like, a preferred airplane of mine, that's all. But my goodness, the turbulence is treating us fierce today, folks. My gosh. We are getting bumped around like you wouldn't believe. I drink Monster Energy drinks. Nice foot, of course you do. Is your name Kyle secretly? Let's see. General turbulence. We're going to go ahead and turn the range down on our turbulence bumps. There we go. Just because in the flight deck, I just kind of feel like that's going to give me motion sickness. But upwards and away we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are above 10,000 feet. We were chit-chatting, so I failed to turn off our landing lights, but those are all taken care of now. Yeah, looking good. We are all set and ready to go up to our cruising altitude of 24,500 feet. Not a very high cruising altitude today. I said foot, did I? Whoops. Well, roles are reversed now, gentlemen. Roles are reversed. If you want geek, you could be Mike, foot can be foot, and I'll be geek. What's going on, Mike? How's it going? I'm geek. Alright, let's hop back into the flight deck here. Just going to wait until we get above cruising altitude. But we are getting shaken by turbulence. We are at a altitude constraint of 16,000 feet right now. We got about 22.5 nautical miles until we reach our next waypoint to go above 16,000. I need to use the restroom, folks. I've been holding it since before we departed, and I really need to go. So bear with me just a few moments here. Now that we have a little while, I kind of have a little bit of a 20 nautical mile break to use the bathroom. Hope you guys don't mind. Either way, I will be right back. Let's go ahead and let's get a nice wing view set up for everybody. We'll go ahead. We'll go with this one, and we'll get my ugly mug off the screen here, and be right back, everybody. Alright folks, I have returned. My gosh, that was a bathroom emergency. I would not have been able to hold it any longer, I can promise you that. Whew. Alright. Bathroom explosion? No. 24 ounces of coffee and not going to the bathroom, and I finished my coffee at 8 o'clock this morning. Type of bathroom emergency. It was not the poops though. It was number one. Cheers, everybody. As I mentioned, I am drinking a mimosa for my flight here, of which I'm handing off to my flight attendant to pour me another. Okay, well, welcome everybody. I just kind of figured now that we have a kind of the old crew in here, we have Foot in here, Nicola's in here, Geek is in here, CPH is in here, I'm sure there's others floating in the background. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Sorry that I was been away for a little while, but we've had 2 weekends of consecutive streams now, and that's kind of going to be the norm going forward. Kind of settling into my new job and everything like that a lot better now. I kind of have a better idea of what my schedule is going to be like. So from here on out, expect about 3 to 4 streams per week, everybody. Bet on the smaller side of that of about 3. Especially this time of the year with my new job, our busy season is between April and July. So you have to bear with me between those months, but after that, yeah, 4 streams a week is definitely feasible. So definitely looking forward and really happy to just be back on the regular streaming schedule and hang out with everybody. I drank 40 Gatorades in 7 hours and only went to the bathroom once. Well, my friend, you have a hell of a bladder, and if you ever want to be a bladder donor for me, go ahead and feel free. But we are turning right now, passing Clada, and we are about to ascend further to our cruising altitude of 24,500. You're a professional holder. Glad you're back. Thank you, CPH. Yay. Oh yeah, mama. You know it. Remember, folks, if you haven't done so already, please hit that like button on this stream so we can get the stream up to as many likes as we possibly can. And if you are new here and you haven't subscribed yet, please consider becoming a subscriber. We would all greatly appreciate that as well. And here is my fresh pour, so thank you, flight attendant, for that. All right. Climbing along nicely now. Here comes transition altitude, folks, which means we're going to get ourselves into standard. There it is. Oh boy, can't see that anymore. There we go. For every like this stream gets, Foot has to eat 1 packet of ramen noodles. That is the consensus of the stream so far, folks. So remember, if you want to subdue Foot to a tremendous amount of food torture, go ahead and hit this like button as many times as you want. And the flight attendant has said no to the noodle idea because she doesn't feel like cleaning the bathroom afterwards. So I apologize, everybody. No noodles for this flight. I hit like 1,000 times. Well, Foot, you better get on it, man. Ramen noodles are like $4 a box now because of the massive inflation that we're facing in this country. But so it'll be a hefty price for you, about $100 or so dollars in ramen noodles, $1,000 or so dollars in ramen noodles. All right, let's get our tunes going, folks. Eat a case of ramen noodles right now. So, speaking of Ramen Geek, I actually came across a like kind of gimmick flavor of ramen. It's like I'm sure you all know who Godzilla is, but it's a Godzilla heat ray ramen, which is very spicy. It's made with like Carolina Reaper and ghost pepper and all that stuff. How did we get out of standard? Weird. But it's like a ghost pepper ramen noodle, and I bought it and made it, but boy, let me tell you, was my bottom end on fire the next day. I can promise you that. And I've done it again since. I bought a 4-pack, and I heated them up again recently, and I regretted every second of it. So yeah, ramen noodles are delicious. Just checking the volume levels on the stream, make sure that I am not too loud. I know you guys enjoy my wonderful voice, but just want to make sure that it's not overbearing. But we have reached cruising altitude, folks. There's our top of descent coming up already. A rather quick one here. Jailhouse ramen? Haven't heard of it. Ramen noodle pizza? Oh, I get you. Had a little bit of a slow moment there. Yeah, prison food. Is it just me, or am I the only one that loves my music? I don't know, man. This music is so up my alley as far as what I like, it's not even funny. Airplane Boy has made his return. Welcome, friend. I'm not in prison anymore, thank goodness. Well, if that's actually true, then that's a really good thing, and I congratulate you. So yeah, Godspeed to you. Congratulations. Okay, TOD, let's find out exactly what altitude we need to be getting down to here. Runway 14. Alright, here's runway 14, and let's set our altitude down to 2,000 feet for our VNAV descent. Remember, everybody, if you haven't done so already, please be kind to hit that like button on this stream. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you are new here, you are enjoying what you're seeing, enjoying me acting like a complete nutcase, enjoying Geek telling us his prison ramen noodle pizza stories, enjoying the music, the views, the airplane, whatever it is you enjoy about this stream, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for the channel so you will never miss when I go live. We would all greatly appreciate that. Salutations to everybody who is joining us and who has subscribed so far. So thank you so much, everybody. Really greatly appreciate every single one of you. 14, so the runway heading should be 141 or 142. Let's find out. 143. Ooh. Alcohol-related charges. Well, my friend, if that story is perhaps true, my hat's off to you, my friend, for your recovery. I don't want to say recovery, like that's... I didn't mean recovery, but you know what I meant. Alright, we are descending, folks. there is the Bahamas right in front of us, looking wonderful. Been out for 4 years? Thanks, man. Sorry, I'm jamming out now, guys. Oh boy, one more song and that'll be the end. Sober 4 years now, congratulations, my friend. That is a massive achievement, and you should be very proud of yourself, for sure. So, how does the quality of the new camera look, everybody? I promised I was getting a camera eventually. You guys just need to believe me. Which I'm sure you guys all did, no big deal. But yeah, I hope the camera looks nice. I hope it's definitely, certainly better quality than what I had before, man. You drink sodas like you drink alcohol? Geek. Friend, have you tasted Starry yet? Have you heard of Starry? Foot is back. He says the lightning is bad. Oh boy, you dealing with a storm, Foot? Hopefully you and your family are safe, which I'm sure you are. We are below 18,000 feet now, which means we're going to come over here and get our altitude mode off of standard. Looking good, and just reset our altimeter in general. Yeah, Foot. Try Starry. It's available in stores, and I swear on my mother's eyeballs, Mom in the chat, I'm sorry. I swear on my mother's eyeballs that the Starry drink by Pepsi. So Pepsi discontinued Sierra Mist completely. Sierra Mist is off the market. It has been replaced with a drink called Starry. Sierra Tango Alpha Romeo Yankee. It is absolutely fantastic. And basically what it is, it's McDonald's Sprite. That's the only way we can put it into words. You know, that burning sensation of a McDonald's Sprite? That's exactly what Starry tastes like, and I highly suggest you take it, that you try it. It should be available in your local gas station at this point, but it is absolutely phenomenal. Your mom's what? Oh, I swear on my mother's eyeballs. It's just a term that I use. Swear on my mother's eyeballs. Oh man, alright. It's sugar-free, yuck? No, it's fine, man. Trust me, you'll like it. Trust me. Try it, dude. I would never steer anybody wrong. Trust me. And I know how much you like your drinks and your sugary beverages. So trust me. It's good. Just give it a try. Alright, let's go ahead and get our course all set up and ready to go here. Looks like we are looking for a runway heading of 143 degrees. We go 143. Our nav radios need to be tuned to 110.1. So we're going to come over here, 110.10. Looking good. That's all populated. We just got to wait to get that into the active frequency. That was going to be the end of the music, my friends. Thank you for understanding. And we are ready to go for our arrival. We'll go ahead and get the simulator volume up just a little bit more for everybody so we can enjoy the absolutely fantastic sounds of the PMDG 737. Maybe if someone gave me a duct-taped can of Starry and didn't say it was sugar-free, I would probably like it. Dude, trust me, it's not that bad for being sugar. This is coming from a Mountain Dew fan. Die-hard Mountain Dew Pitch Black, die-hard Mountain Dew regular, Code Red, Voltage, anything like that. Possibly the most sugary soda you can ever get. Trust me, Starry is good, my friend. you would like it. Alright, last thing we need to get taken care of here is our minimums, of course, which is looking like it's going to be 215 feet. Come over here to our barometric minimums and populate 215, looking good. We are approaching, we are approaching very quickly to our arrival. Folks, we're coming just about below 10,000 feet here, which means we are going to have to decelerate very quickly. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get our landing lights taken care of here now. Same way with our runway turnoffs and taxis. We got to get those all turned on. Just make sure that we are lit up perfectly so everybody can see us. Continuing our descent now, probably about a good 25-30 miles away from the airport as of yet. We are going to continue to slow down here. Probably going to be quite a steep descent moving forward to squeeze on in to Nassau. Look at that view out there, folks. Lovely, lovely, clear, crystal blue water waiting for us. Geek, did you bring your swimsuit? I hope you did. Foot, do you have your Speedo? Runway 14, be heading 140, correct. Technically. But, as we all know, that's not always the case. We're always off by just a smidge. We are actually going to take manual control of our speed here. Oops. Maybe. There we go. We are going to take care of our own speed here at this point, just because I kind of feel like we are going just a tad bit fast. So we're going to throw out some speed brake here into flight D10 to get our speed slowed just a little bit, because I feel like the airplane just has us a little bit high right now, and I really don't want to have to circle. I just have a feeling that we are way high for where we need to be currently, and I'm not sure what's going on with the VNAV of the airplane, but we're just going to take over because I already have a bad feeling about what's going on. So we are doing something usual and uncustomary, and that is practicing a steep descent with the speed brakes deployed at this altitude, which isn't normally something that you'd see, but we need to make sure that we are going to get down in time and be able to slow down in time. That's really my main concern at the moment. And at the rate that we were going, we need to be above 2,000 feet by the time we hit Muni. But if you look at it, we're only 10 miles away, and we were still at like 9,000 feet, so I'm not sure what the airplane was doing. But yeah, we definitely wouldn't have really made it, that's for sure. Because we're approaching our 10-mile final pretty quickly here. It's going to be difficult as it is already slowing the airplane down, so just really want to make sure that we're not going to be putting ourselves in any trouble, so I just kind of took over. Good piloting decision, in my most honest opinion. At or above 2,000, correct. And that's a 10-mile final at that point, so I mean, like, we'll be okay where we are now. So we can probably slow our descent rate just a tad. but by the time we get to that waypoint there, our ILS chart is calling for 2,000 feet. So I think that's what we're just going to continue with for now. Either way, we were way high. Way high. Just for our approach, I didn't trust it. You say 4,000 on a 10-mile final? Alright, let's go for it. Although our chart is telling us to be at 2,000. Well, at or above 2,000, I suppose. Let's go ahead and slow up our descent rate just a little bit. We can get rid of our speed brake. We no longer need any of those. And we'll go ahead and get approach mode turned on as well. And we will get our ILS switched into... Oops. Oh, shoot. We will get our ILS frequency switched to the active. And let's get ourselves slowed down to about 200 knots. And we need to select our VREF. Go, looking wonderful. All right. Alright, we're going to go ahead and bring the flaps out to 2. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get our replay tool recording and ready to go. Simulated volume coming up. Enjoy the arrival, everybody. Okay, gear down and flaps to 25. Fire to luck. Yeah. Let's hope, guys. We had some tremendous Boeing butter on our last Boeing stream, so fingers crossed, folks. And flaps 40. Let's get this bird on the ground. Enjoy the arrival, folks. Actually, you know what? I don't think I ever came in here to the equipment, and I never set this, did I? Oh no, I did. Okay, never mind. Alright, enjoy, folks.
1,000.
Let's go.
Glide slope.
Not that far off now.
Glide slope.
We're
Glide
a little
slope.
high. That's okay.
Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide
We're a little
slope.
low, actually. Not high.
Glide
What am I
slope.
thinking?
Glide slope. Glide
Be
slope.
quiet, glide slope.
Glide
We'll be
slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide
fine.
slope.
There we go.
Glide slope.
I know,
Glide
airplane.
slope.
I know.
Glide slope.
Minimums.
Ooh, extra wind there for us.
50, 40, 30, 20.
Oh, our auto throttle's still
10.
on. There we go. Oh no, where's our landing rate monitor? Where'd our landing rate monitor go? That stinks. Alright, no big deal. Welcome to Nassau, folks. Where's our landing rate monitor, man? Alright. Give me the bread? Oh yeah, we were a little bit squirrely early there. I forgot to turn our auto throttle off, but that's okay. We made it nonetheless. I guess we're gonna have to rely on Volanta, folks, to find out exactly what our touchdown rate was. But it seemed pretty butter to me, so we will take it. Alright, speed brake's good. Flaps coming clean. I have no idea where I'm going when it comes to this airport, so 2 seconds please while I pull up the chart to find out where we need to go. And we are headed the wrong direction, folks. We shouldn't have turned that way, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a big FAA no-no. You ever done a big solid U-turn in a 737 before? Well, you're about to see one. We might run over the grass a little bit here, but no worries. That approach kind of happened very fast. I wasn't expecting everything to happen so quickly, but it did. Minus 1900. Rescue mission to back taxi. Oh yeah. Farmer, my friend, welcome. Alright. Now we are in the correct area of taxi. Let's check our charts here. Just make sure we're going to be going the right direction. There we go. We're going to take Bravo. We're going to cross runway 32, which is the runway we just landed on. Or was it? No, it wasn't. I lied. We landed on runway 14. We're crossing runway 32. Alright. Big DMB. How are we today? I'm good, RM. Thank you for being here, as always. Welcome. Farmer's in the house. He says, good evening. Nice landing. We'll miss most of the stream. Need to go to bed because my girlfriend's ferry home got canceled today because of the storm. Storm wind. We have not had much sleep and need to get up early tomorrow. Well, enjoy your rest, my friend. Thank you for popping in and saying hi. Always greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. And I hope the ferry ride is good whenever, of course, that ferry goes. The one and only farmer. Oh, yeah. Alright, wow. So, what an arrival. The replay is still going. We won't get a landing rate until we are parked at the gate and I cancel or end the Volanta flight. But we will see. You know, I gotta get a hold of dear old dad. Geek, next time you are in dear old dad's stream, his schedule and mine just do not mesh at all. as far as me being able to tune into his streams regularly, as I'm sure the case is for him. The next time you're in dear old dad's stream, tell him I want to get a hold of him, because we've been planning, or been trying to throw something together where we're going to do a joint stream of some sort. So I need to get a hold of him and get that on the books, because I have a feeling that would be a riot, he and I doing a shared cockpit. Got a little bit of a taxi here to go still. We're going to go to apron number 2. This is apron number 3, or number 4 rather, right up here in front of us, and we're going to go to apron... Oh, this is apron 4. We are going to go to apron 2. Sent him a message just now? Alright. Thanks, Geek. I have a feeling that would just be a lot of fun. He's good people. He's a good guy. You can tell just by how he talks. The fatherly advice while flying is really what's charming about his streams for sure. Not only that, but he's a real mechanic, so... A real aircraft mechanic, so that's... He's got a lot of that going for him, and for that I am extremely jealous that he gets to spend all of his day, of his work day, around airplanes, man. Alright, we are going to take the second gate in front of us here, not this first one because there's an airplane already taxied and parked there. So we are going to take this first one right up here now to us. You've only flown one flight in the sim because I've gotten addicted to ATS. Oh boy. Good old American Trucking Simulator. Alright, and parked we are. Let's go ahead and get our parking brakes set. We need to get our flaps back to 40 degrees for the replay. We need to come up here. We never turned off our landing lights or anything like that, so that's all set to go. Hard landing? I don't know what landing you saw afoot, but I wouldn't really call ours hard. Minus 134. I'll take it all day long. Alright, enjoy the first replay view, folks, from here. we'll go ahead and switch up the view. Kind of weird how our thrust reversers activated mid-air. And we will get one more view.
Wide slope.
Yeah, we
Wide
were
slope.
kind of low
Wide
on this
slope.
one.
Wide slope. Wide slope.
You know why? Mimosa.
Wide slope. Wide slope. Wide slope. Wide
Don't tell
slope.
anyone the pilots had a
Wide
mimosa
slope.
during flight today,
Wide
folks.
slope. Wide slope. Wide slope.
Yeah, she
Wide
was
slope.
yelling at us.
Wide slope. Wide slope. Wide slope. Wide slope.
I
Wide
know,
slope.
man. We were a little low, it's okay. And then we came up a little high as well. Nothing like a solid MB landing, guys. I never hit the touchdown zone on time, but as long as we hit the ground safe, we're good. Bye, Farmer. Be safe, my friend. Thank you for joining. Hope everything's well with you and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye-bye. Wasn't exactly the most flared thing in the world, but nose was twisting and turning. Yeah, a little windy. 17 knot gusts, not too terrible. We have landed in much worse. But minus 133, I'll take that all day, folks. We will take that all day, trust me. Let's go ahead and get our sky dolly all set up and ready to go. Boop, doo, 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 doo. Okay. Excuse me. Alright, lovely. Let's come back down here, pretend that we're parked again. We're going to go ahead and set our parking brake. We never started the APU, but that is no big deal. We can come down here to our menu, go over here to oops, I lied. FS Actions, Ground Services. Let's get our chocks set and our ground power unit pulled up. They would never do this, by the way, with the engines running, but that's fine. We don't have to worry about that. We'll get our flaps back down to 0. Come over here and get our landing lights off as well. And the ground power unit is connected. We'll go ahead and get that onward and ready to go. And we'll shut her down. And then we will get our seatbelt signs off also. Alright, folks, welcome to Nassau. Our jetways aren't going to work because we activated the replay function, but that's no big deal. Welcome to Nassau, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for that first leg. You know the drill. We're going to do a quick intermission before we get the next flight up and going. And we are heading to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, my friends. Back to Florida we go by way of Nassau. So give me about 5 minutes. Could possibly be 7 minutes. Not exactly sure. We got to get everything reset and ready to go. The simulator takes its time when it loads. So I'll be back with you in just a few moments. Grab a drink, grab a snack, grab your friends, introduce them to this channel, and tell them to subscribe. Hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Enjoy the tunes during our Be Right Back phase of our stream, and I'll catch you in a few minutes. Alright folks, and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. We are all reloaded and ready to go, folks. Currently still under ground power as we didn't start the APU on the last one. Currently sitting here at the gate in Nassau, Bahamas, my friend. We are currently sitting at Linden Piddling International Airport, and we are headed to Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. From here, folks, total flight time for this one's going to be about 14 minutes or so. So let's go ahead and jump inside the flight deck here, everybody, and get everything up and running. We want to get out of here as fast as possible and get on back to the States. Hope everybody enjoyed their quick stop at the Bahamas. Got a quick suntan geek. I hope you enjoyed some wonderful food. I hope you got some noodles. And everybody else tagging along, I hope you had a wonderful quick 5-minute vacation. Without further ado, let's come down here. Our position is already initiated. We don't need to do anything with that. Let's go ahead and get our origin set up and ready to go. We're going to go Mike Yankee November for Nassau, and we are going to go Kilo Foxtrot Lima for Fort Lauderdale. Our flight number is staying the same, Uniform Lima 22222. The departure runway for this leg is going to be excuse me, runway 14. Wonderful. The runway we just landed on makes sense. Looking good there. Let's go to our departure and our arrival. It looks like we are taking the Freddy to Sid, and we are using the Major transition. Awesome. Let's come back to our index. Let's get our arrival all square. Looks like we are going in on runway 28 right. We'll take the ILS because why wouldn't we? And we are taking the ZBV transition via the decal 8 arrival. I see decal 7, so that's just gonna have to do via the ZBV transition, which we don't have available to us. Okay, so that maybe complicates things a little bit, so we're just gonna we're gonna choose ZFP and see what that does for us and see if it makes it weird at all. I don't think it will. We're going to check our plan anyway and just make sure very quickly. And let's just scroll through. Mom is back. Welcome. I didn't get a vacation. I had to load the bags. Ramp Agent was laid up at home. Darn Ramp Agent. BahamasAir. What do we have going on here? What kind of operation you guys run? Alright, let's just step through our flight plan here and just make sure nothing's going to be weird. We have a discontinuity there, which is no big deal. We'll just copy that over and get it plugged in. Just make sure that it's not going to be anything weird or just anything we're not expecting. Okay, let's go through that again. What are we looking at here? Okay, alright, I see what we're going to have to do. We're going to fly over, make a right-hand turn. Okay, and come in from that way. Alright, I'm fine with that. We'll go ahead and activate and execute it. We'll just manage that on our own. Let's get our perf in it ready to go, folks. We're going to get our zero fuel weight up and going. 109.1, a very light airplane for our second round. You guess you missed the landing. Unfortunately, you did, Mama, but no big deal. You can always go ahead and hit the replay button and watch this back if you wanted to. It was all good. I have my toes and fingers. A good foot. Toes and fingers are important indeed. We're going to go ahead and get our reserve fuel cost index, cruise altitude, average cruise wind inputted and ready to go. Looks like for our reserve fuel, looks like we are bringing along 2.1, 2,059 pounds, which we need to round up for. Our cost index on this leg is going to be 17, and our cruising altitude is going to be 32,000 feet. Lovely. And it looks like our average cruise wind is going to be 237 degrees at 25 knots. Lovely. Alright, get that put in for us. We are good to go with that. We're going to go ahead and choose 62 degrees again for our flex temp. We'll go ahead and take a regular takeoff, and we'll just do a climb 1 for us on this one. We're going to go 5 degrees of flaps for our departure, which is standard on a 737 CG of 19.2, and look at that super light takeoff weight. VR is 119. Actually, you know what? We're going to go back to our N1 limits then, and we are going to derate our takeoff. We do not need that much power on this departure, everybody, which means we need to go back and calculate our takeoff speeds again. There we go. Alright. looking good there. Let's come up to the overhead panel. We're going to get our left aft fuel pump turned on, and we are going to get the APU started up. Bring the APU master start switch into the on position. Click it down to start. You see the needle jump right here. Just make sure that we are going to get a low oil pressure light illuminated here, which means the starter pump has initiated. There it goes. And let's just make sure that we have the exhaust gas temperature rising before we continue along. And there it is, rising for us. We're going to get our flight altitude put in here of, looks like 32,000 feet for us. And our landing altitude going back to Fort Lauderdale. Let's go ahead and pull up the airport info, which is at Fort Lauderdale is looking like it's going to be 65 feet. So we'll bring this up to, or down to 50. Awesome. We'll go ahead and get our seatbelt signs on, which they already are. Chimes, we'll go ahead and get those on to auto. Get this back over to map. Next, we'll take care of our autopilot. Like I said, we are going up to 32,000 feet. So let's go ahead and get 32,000 feet plugged in from our Honeycomb throttle quadrant here using the autopilot panel, getting us up to 32,000 feet there. Looking wonderful. Let's go ahead and get V to plus 10 for us, which is going to be 139. Lovely. And then our runway heading for runway 14 is going to be 143 degrees, which we already stated earlier. Alright, our autopilot is all set to go. Let's go ahead and get our auto throttles armed. Our flight director's armed as well. Our auto brakes set to RTO. We will come down here also and get our transponder all set up. We are squawking 1200. And there it is, good to go as well. Let's pre-plan our pushback, ladies and germs. It looks like we are pushing back out and to the left. Let's get up here, get our better pushback tool ready to go. So I think probably pushing us back right about here. Don't want to go at too harsh of an angle, so this should do. It's kind of a funky position, but we shouldn't run into any other airplanes with that. Alright, back into the flight deck here. We are pretty much good to go, ladies and gentlemen. The APU is running. We're going to get APU generators enabled there. We're going to get our packs. Actually, you know what? They were already in auto by default. We need to get our APU fleet on. Looking wonderful. Let's get our AC source up to APU gen. Everything is looking good here. We'll get our window heats on now. Hydraulic pumps on as well. Probe heats will stay off until we are just about to push. I'd say that we are pretty much ready to go, ladies and gentlemen, for our pushback. And just a reminder, folks, tomorrow we will be flying the Antonov AN225, the mighty Maria. Should be a really fun one tomorrow. We are going from LAX to IAH, which is Houston, George Bush Intercontinental Airport. Should be very fun. That's based off of a flight that the AN225 actually performed in the United States in 2020 during the very beginning and rapid expansion of the COVID-19 pandemic. The Antonov AN225 completed many flights from the United States over to neighboring countries and allies to deliver medical supplies, masks, vaccines, you name it, to neighboring countries and friends of ours, part of the NATO alliance, I imagine. So this is based off a flight that the AN225 actually completed. It took a little bit of research for me to find out exactly a flight that we could do that wasn't going to be necessarily too long, often flights that the 225 completes. So that should be a really fun one, everybody. I'm really looking forward to the Antonov. Done a lot of practice with it this week so far, and kind of got used to the conversion, and the fact that the cockpit is in Cyrillic doesn't really help either. But I'm going to give it my best shot with us on Sunday, so we're going to see how that is going to go. I'd say that everybody's probably belted in and ready to go now for us to initiate our pushback, everybody. So we're going to get our fuel pumps on. We are going to get our packs off. We are going to get our anti-collision lights on. We're going to get our pushback tool up, and we are going to request pushback, head outside, and watch our pushback tug driver try to get this in as best as he can. Oh boy, why are our luggage cars still attached to the airplane? That's not good. And you know why? It's because I'm using a different startup state for whenever I go back to cold and dark. Why can I not click on... My gosh. Okay. We gotta release the ground power unit first off, and then that should automatically release everything else. Okay. So, I lied. We have a few minutes to go while our luggage cars disconnect there. Completely forgot about those. Key West to Anchorage? Man, that's way too long. As much as I enjoy flying, guys, that's just a way too long of a flight for me. I mean, if one of you guys were actually going to stay and watch the entire stream at that length, I'd be more than all for it, but let's be real. Are any of you guys actually going to stay that long? And more importantly, am I going to be able to stay awake for that long of a stream? Always pulling for the longest flights? Well, guys, 750 subscribers, man, is going to be the next long-haul special. It's been a long time waiting for that because of my schedule recently. But hopefully we'll be able to get something on the schedule for a long-haul subscriber shortly. Geek, can you tell me how many subs we have, my friend? I'm not sure. I think the last time I checked we were at 728. So we're getting close. Okay. Our luggage carts have left. So I think we are good now to push. We are good to push. 728. All right. We are getting there, folks. Almost at 750. We're going to come down here. We are going to release our parking brake. We are going to press the hold button here. There we go. Starting our pushback. We're going to come up here and turn engine number 2 first. We're going to come down here and see that we have N2 rotation, which we do N1 rotation. She's starting up. Oil pressure. Starting to build. There's 2 in, and then 3. 25% N2. We will get fuel flow initiated and pop over the wing and have a listen. Enjoy. Oops. Alright, sounds like we have a good start of engine number 2. Let's head back inside the flight deck here. Let's turn engine number 1 over to ground. We have N2 rotation, N1. Rotating as well. Oil pressure starting to build. Same procedure, everybody. 25% N2 will engage fuel flow and pop over the wing. Enjoy engine number 1. Alright, it sounds like we have a good start of engine number 1, folks. Let's head back inside the flight deck. We are going to come up to the overhead panel. We're going to get Gen 1 and Gen 2 on. We're going to get our packs back on for everybody. Isolation valve is going to come into auto. APU is going to come off, and APU is going to come off in general. We'll go ahead and get our taxi lights on. We have our anti-collision lights on also, looking good. Now that we are all set and ready to go with that, we actually need to get our trim established here, 6.16. So let's get her down to 6.16 quickly. There we go. That would do. Popping over to our wing view now. We're going to get a flight control surface test over left-hand wing. We have left elevator looking good. Right elevator looking good. Let's pop over to the opposite side and do the same thing. We have right elevator looking nice and left elevator looking good as well. Popping over behind the wing again on the left-hand side, getting flaps to 5 degrees. Looking good, folks. We should be pretty much all set and ready to go. We got our taxi lights on. Everything's looking good here. Anti-collisions. Got our logos on as well. Everything looks good up here. We'll get our gen status up to Gen 1. And we are pretty much all set and ready to go. We'll come over here to our front engine view of engine number 2. Let's give us some power. Let's go flying. Chris, what's going on, my friend? Welcome. All right, and away we go, folks. Let's get back to Fort Lauderdale and get back to the States. Get up our taxi charts here. We're going to follow Taxiway Hotel 2 straight across, take a right onto Taxiway Hotel, and then we will get right out to our runway from there. Something's going on with our steering input right now. Okay, let's stop the airplane for a second here. You're getting like a continuous left to right access problem. So hold on here. We gotta stop the airplane for a second, guys. Something's going on with my controls. Something's going on with my controls here. And I'm assuming it's gotta be our rudder trim. Alright. Let's try it again. There we go. Alright, then we got it fixed. Lovely. Alright. Maybe not. Oh my gosh. Oh, nope. Maybe we're good. Alright. Cool. Should be good now. There we go. Not sure what that was about. Your 2-year-old dad in the background eating peanuts? Oh boy. He didn't drop in. I didn't miss his message, did I? Alright, folks. We are approaching our departure runway here. Sorry about that little delay that we just had. Just going to go ahead and get our rest of our lighting on. We're going to go ahead and get our... Oops. Go ahead and get our strobe lights on here. Lovely. We are pretty much ready to go here, folks. Enjoy the departure. We're going to do a turn and burn, as you guys know, per usual on this channel. Enjoy the departure, folks, and I will be with you guys right after we get off the ground. Well, shortly after we get off the ground. Enjoy, folks. Throttle levers come to 40% power. 40% N1. Alright, looking good. And activating toga. Enjoy. Positive rate.
Positive rate of climb.
Some wind giving us a little bit of trouble here, but nothing too terrible, nothing that we cannot handle, folks. Still a hand flying the airplane up and out of the airspace. Trying to keep our trim under control here. Alright, 3,000 feet. Let's go ahead and get our VNAV and LNAV on. We'll get our autopilot activated as well. Flaps coming to 1 degrees. Flaps coming clean. Alright, awesome. And up we go, ladies and gentlemen. We do have a speed constraint to 210 knots here. And that is until we get to Harome, which is right here. So we have a little bit of a peak speed constraint until we get to Harome, which is no big deal. We will gladly take those speed constraints all day, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go ahead and get our simulator volume down here just a little bit for everybody. I know you all enjoy the lovely sounds of those engines. Look at the beautiful water, huh? Isn't that fantastic? Remember, folks, if you are new here and you haven't done so already, please go ahead and hit the like button on the stream. We would all greatly appreciate that. My name is Michael Branconier, and I have been your captain so far for our legs today. I hope you've all been comfortable. I hope you've all been enjoying yourself. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you please would. If you are enjoying what you are seeing, enjoying the PMDG 737, enjoying the views of the simulator, we would all greatly appreciate that. Turn on notifications too for the channel so you'll never miss when I go live or upload a video. I would greatly appreciate that as well. Get seat belted in, sit down, use the restroom, do whatever it is you need to do, because we will be arriving back in Fort Lauderdale, Florida in about probably 40 minutes or so. So strap in, everybody, sit tight, and enjoy the ride. We just passed above 10,000 feet, which means we need to go into the flight deck here and get our landing lights turned off. We no longer need those. And I have a surprise for everybody. Look at who it is. We haven't seen the kitty in quite some time, so say hello to the kitty. She was walking by and I just had to pick her up. Mwah! She's had enough, folks. Oh, man. Right, everything's looking good still. Goodbye, Nassau. Goodbye, tropical warm weather. Going back to the tropical warm weather of Florida, I guess. Well, I mean, I don't have any tropical warm weather around here. We get pretty pooch screwed out of that. Kitty? Oh, yeah. Made her triumphant return. Oh, yeah. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and shoot DOD a message as well. Because I feel bad. He and I went back and forth a few times about getting everything going with a joint stream and doing that every now and then. And I just got so busy with work. Everything just completely fell by the wayside with my channel and everything. So I am going to make sure I reach out to him on the old Discord. Message sent. We're about to come up to 18,000 feet here, which means the music is going to come on, so let's go ahead and get that all ready to go. You sent him one too? Yeah, thanks, Keith. Like I said, I feel bad. I mean, I'm sure he understands. I talked to him a few times about everything that's, everything that's been going on and about things in my life that I just needed kind of like an ulterior focus. So he kind of he understands completely. And he's a pretty cool guy like that, so. Excuse me. Music is on, folks. Standard altitude mode is armed as well. I need to use the restroom one more time, ladies and germs, so we're going to go ahead to this blank live view, and I will be right back. Actually, there's one thing that we need to do. We're going to put our live view back on, and we are going to take this text box right here. We're going to copy that, and we are going to put it in here. Or not. Hold on. Copy. Wow, why is it not letting me? Okay. Hold on a second. Alright, well, I guess we're going back into regular live mode and turning on this. I had another, restroom break transition, channel ready, and it's not working, so have to do a little bit of playing around with that. Anyways, guys, I'll be right back. Thank you for hanging out. I need to use the restroom again. Don't go anywhere. Alright, I have returned, everybody. Ooh. Okay. Ready for the AN225 foot? I hope you're ready. Did you eat your noodles today? No, I did not. Oh boy, I ate a triple bacon cheeseburger and a cinnamon roll. Alright, that sounds tasty. If you're still hungry, bacon burgers are yummy yummy for my tummy. Indeed they are. The AN225, folks, that's going to be like more of a trial and error stream. I pretty much have everything figured out when it comes to the airplane. I read through the manual a few times now. So it should be good. I'm not thinking we're going to have any problems. It's just going to be fun. So far, I already have the payload already planned and everything, guys. Like, this has been a week. Since the airplane was released, I've flown it pretty much every day in my off time to get ready for it. So I think we're going to be... Takeoff weight is going to be right around 1,226,000 pounds for tomorrow. So be prepared for that one, my friends. Yeah, right, Mama. 1,226,000 pounds is how much the airplane is going to weigh tomorrow. Maximum takeoff weight, I think, is like 1,417,000. I think something around there. The name of the airplane, the Antonov AN-225 Mriya. Ukrainian or Soviet-built airliner. I believe it first flew in 1982 during the glory years of the Soviet Union, if you wish to call it that. Oh boy. Sorry, my nose is running, folks. Ugh. Rest in peace, big boy. Yeah. Well, guys, let me tell you, if you guys didn't know this, if you guys have Microsoft Flight Simulator, not sure if any builds released the AN225 for Xbox, but if they did, regardless if you're PC or Xbox, the AN225, if you purchase it from any builds on the marketplace, every dollar that goes from the proceeds of that will go towards rebuilding the airplane. So just so everybody knows, like Geek just put in the chat, every purchase of the AN225 will go directly to the proceeds of rebuilding the airplane. So everybody please keep that into consideration. Regardless if the airplane is good or not, donate the $20, guys. That's all sales for 1 year. 1 year of sales for the AN225 by any builds is going towards rebuilding the airplane. So, just so you guys know that, man. You don't know how to fly it foot? It's actually not that complicated. As far as the flight simulator version goes, and any builds really did a good job of dumbing it down, but they kind of had to, right? They kind of had to. The airplane is just such a unique aircraft in general, but it requires a flight crew of 5. So a flight crew of 5. There's only one of you in the simulator. So they kind of had to do something different with the way they designed the internal workings of the airplanes. You guys will see tomorrow. It'll be fun. I'm not going to spoil it. 6 people. Yeah, because there was the Loadmaster too, and all the crew, and just, yeah. That airplane wasn't something that, you know, like this, where it's a lot more manageable. Not only that, but all of your engine readouts and everything like this, it's all in metrics. So you're in kilometers per hour. You're in meters for altitude. So all of that is in metric units and not like your usual US system that I'm used to. So I've had to learn all of that. So a lot has gone into this stream on Sunday, or tomorrow. So I hope you guys enjoy. It is going to be a little bit of a longer one. We're going from LAX to Houston. But if we're going to do the entire loading process of the AN225, it takes 15 minutes to get the nose lowered, the nose open, the nose lowered, and the ramp down. So it takes a little bit of time. So be prepared for that, everybody. But it's going to be really fun, and I'm really looking forward to it. I need to blow my nose, people, so I am going to turn the camera off for just a second so I can do that and mute my microphone. So bear with me just a second. Okay. Alright. He knows how to fly everything at least once. Yes, I do know how to fly the AN225. It's weird, and you guys will see what I mean tomorrow. It's weird, and you'll see what I mean. It's not like anything we're used to seeing on the channel. It's a lot different. I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to spoil it. I'm just going to leave it. There's one particular part of it, and if you know what it is, please don't spoil it for the rest of the channel. But there's just one part about getting the airplane ready for flight that's just kind of like, you know why any builds had to do it the way that they did. Like, the airplane would just be way too complex, and while some people would like that, yes, absolutely, if you're one person getting everything ready with just the flight engineers panel, you know what, for fun, let's just go on Google, and we're just going to go on images, and we're just going to look up AN225 engineers panel. And my mom came in the chat a few seconds ago and said that airplane is huge. Yes, it's the largest airplane. Was, unfortunately, rest in peace. It was destroyed in the Ukraine war. But just to give everybody an idea of what we're going to be looking at tomorrow when the flight deck. It's ridiculous, man. Just absolutely ridiculous, but yet still so fun, man. Just absolutely just awesome stuff with this airplane. I'm trying to make it so I can get the picture of the flight deck and just have it look nice for everybody. But here's a good one. So here's what we are going to be dealing with tomorrow, everybody, just so you are all aware. Here's a little snapshot. So there you go. That's what we are going to be looking at tomorrow. This right here. There you are. So I've done a lot of practice with it already. These are your fuel pumps over here. Your engine instruments are right here. The APU systems, all the start for your APU is right in here. Your engine starts are all down here. These are all your engine start instruments. These are your engine generators right here. Man, what else can I give off? These are more electronics. These are more electronics. I forget the name of all of these, but these are all switches that are required to be turned up. These are all like your generator switches and switching between all your generator connections and all that. Like, I've done a lot of reading on this, so I'm pretty much prepared to fly the AN225. So don't you worry, everybody. We are going to be fine. I've practiced it quite a few times. the past couple weeks, and there's not anything that I'm too afraid to fly, so I've flown quite a fair large amount of equipment on this channel, and I am perfectly fine with giving everything a try for your viewing pleasure. Alright, we gotta get ready for a descent, everybody. Let's go ahead and take a look at our approach and see what we're gonna have to do for Fort Lauderdale. We are going into KFLL via runway 28 right in the decal 8 arrival. Let's go ahead and pull up ILS 28 right, shall we? All right. $4,000 feet. All right, that's what we're going to go with, folks. 4,000 feet on the altitude for the VNAV. It's going to take us right down to the appropriate altitude. We are going to monitor our descent this time around, though, because it was a little bit weird. I'm not going to lie. A little bit weird. And I'm thinking maybe it has to do with sim brief and maybe our cost index and cruising altitude, because this is such a short leg. I'm thinking that might have something to do with it. Because even right here, look at our top of descent. We have only 113 miles until we reach our destination, yet 131 miles until the top of our descent. So we're not going to be able to make it down near on time. So it's going to do it to us again. So we're just going to go ahead and manually control our descent for the rest of the flight. We are going to have to. There's no way we are going to make it. So we're going to go ahead and start descending at a pretty decently harsh descent rate at the moment, and we're going to pull our speed back to about 270. And maybe even a little slower. Probably aim for 260. While I go ahead and take a look at the rest of our arrival here and see what we can be expecting. Delta Sim, what's going on, my friend? Welcome. I flew the sucky version Concorde. Never successfully, guys. Never. We haven't had a successful Concorde stream since the beginning of this channel, and I've given that Concorde so many tries. And okay, please, FS Labs, if my mic was muted that whole time, wasn't it? My goodness. I must have looked like a complete jackass praying to the gods right there for a second. Anyways, what I was saying was what I'm praying for is, and I said Delta Sim Pilot, how's it going, by the way, before. Freaking just the, like, for Concorde, guys, I've tried so many times with it. I was probably muted through that whole spiel as well. That's a fail, guys. Note that one. Everybody in here, note that one, okay? But no, if Concorde were to be released for this simulator, and it was by someone like FS Labs or a developer of that caliber, or even if you guys remember this, if you guys are OG flight sim fans, then you would remember SST Sim. That came out in like 2005 for FS 2004. I was 10 years old flying that back in the day. And yes, I read the entire manual. And yes, I know how to fly the entire Concorde start to finish, from the engineer's panel to the overhead panel. The DC Designs version isn't that. It's nowhere close to that. But the problem that I have with that... The problem that I have with the DC Designs Concorde is it's not consistent. Every time I've ever flown it, it's given me a different problem. One time I can't get the autopilot to work. One time my left engine shuts down mid-flight. One of them I can't get my reheats to turn off. You know, it's all that kind of stuff for me, and that's just such an immersion killer that I don't want to bother with it. So please, SST Sim, FS Labs, anybody out there who's developed a Concorde that is study level, but please put the virtual flight engineer in there like the SST Sim or the FS Labs, and I'll be fine with that. Concorde is my second favorite airplane of all time. I will pay hundreds of dollars for a proper Concorde simulation. I'm talking PMDG prices, $130. Somebody out there, make a proper Concorde product for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. You will make money off of it. I'm just saying. Anyways, where did I get the Concorde from? It's available via the Microsoft Store, or you can go to DC Designs and grab it yourself from their website. And that's nothing against DC Designs in any way, shape, or form. That's just been my luck with the Concorde. Doing crappy designs, oh gosh, maybe. You know, geek, you're making me laugh. You know what? I just here's an idea, and how do you guys feel about this? All right. What do you say I do whatever it takes to get Flight Simulator 2004 on this PC? I still own the license to the wow, why am I blocking their name right now? SST Sim. I still own the license to that plane. So what do you say we download Microsoft Flight Simulator 2004 onto my PC, and we will fly Microsoft Flight Simulator 2004 the proper way to fly the Concorde? Maybe. I'll have to see. Because the last time I tried to boot Flight Simulator 2004 up on a PC that had an operating system older than Windows 7 on it, it gave me a hard time. So I'll try it, I'll test it out, but if you guys would be into something like that, let me know, because I would totally rock a throwback stream to like Flight Simulator 2004 or even FSX. If you guys are into a throwback stream and we'll do some FSX like default aircraft stuff, I will totally do that, man. That'll take me back to like 12-year-old me. I mean, the BahamasAir you are flying, where'd you get that one? The airplane itself, as Geek said, this is the PMDG 737-700. In regards to the livery itself, I acquired it from FlightSim.to. FlightSim.to is a wonderful webpage with all kinds of flight sim news, add-ons. It's the end-all be-all of flight sim websites, in my most honest opinion. I can't believe I was sitting there like... Oh, man. Only with me, guys, will you experience such a thing. But that's the beauty of the channel, and that's the beauty of my personality, you know what I mean? So, hey, at least I got that going for me. Ooh, and I'm dropping my cell phone, too, at the same time. Okay, my mimosa is finished. Alright. We're just about to go below transition altitude, which means we need to take this baby out of standard altitude. Clear altimeter, and there we go, sitting right at 17,700 feet on our way down for Fort Lauderdale. Now, I'm very happy, honestly, that I did go ahead and alter our descent a little bit, but you know what? We need to slow the airplane down quite a little bit more, so we're going to open up these spoilers to flight detent. And we are going to get the airplane slowed down just a little bit so we can make our descent profile. I'm not sure. I'm thinking it's something to do with just the short nature of these flights, where if I'm using the SimBrief data, now this has happened a few times when I've flown a 737, the PMDG 737 specifically, for shorter routes like this that are generally under 40 minutes, because that's about how long these were. Alter ego. Any of those routes, I've noticed that SimBrief's data, I think, might just not be what we need to enter in for our flight plans here, so I'm definitely going to have to look into possibly getting our own flight plans customized and just getting that ready for us so we can just kind of be more prepared for our arrival, you know what I mean? But we are right on ahead right here. Our runway is off to our right at about 320 degrees. Oh, not the runway, but the runway straight ahead. But our runway heading is to our right just a little bit. So I'm thinking what we are going to do is we are going to take ourselves off of LNAV already and just kind of manually vector ourselves right in. And we'll just go ahead and make a sharp right-hand turn here to 333 degrees, and I think that's going to help us out quite a bit. No worries, I didn't notice because I had 3 calls coming at once and had to take messages. When you said it looked like you were praying to the gods, you literally laughed your ass off. Yeah, well, I'm sitting there like a psychopath, like... you know what I mean? You guys are probably like, what's he doing? Bro, what are you doing? Oh, God. I love Foot. Oh, Foot is beside himself on how to respond to that. Geek. Alright folks, still doing perfectly fine with our descent. We are descending a little bit more rapidly than normal, but yeah, like I said, I'm assuming it's gotta be something to do with our Simbri flight plan. It's just something's not right with it, but you know. Do you fly 727s? I fly anything sim pilot. Anything. You guys have seen me on this channel fly anything from the MD-80, 737, A320, both Phoenix and FlyByWire, the EMB-110, the DC-3, anything I can get my hands on, the AN-225, the A310, the Concorde. Am I missing any, folks? The TBM 930, or 940, which we haven't flown in so long. Oh, the TBM. If I was ever a millionaire, the TBM would be the airplane that I would buy, guys. Don't even threaten me. But yeah, 727s, man. That actually, Sim Pilot, you and I are about to be best friends, man. The 727-100 is my favorite aircraft of all time. The flight attendant has served me a beer in a nice chilled glass. It's past 1 o'clock. What's up, America? My custom Godzilla glass, by the way. You can see that right there by the camera. Cheers, everybody. Delicious. Okay. Alright guys, we are already breaking FAA rules by flying over 250 knots at this point, so I'm thinking what we are more than likely going to have to do is slow our descent rate up by quite a bit and make a complete 180 here. So we're going to turn completely to 360, we're just going to turn north and do a complete 180 so we can get to a proper altitude, because I just don't feel like forcing the airplane down. So that's what we're going to have to do. It's proper pilot decision making. Love flying the Delta version? Oh yeah. But yeah, oof. I fly anything, guys, anything. But yeah, the 727-100 Pan American Airways colors, that's my go-to 727. That's my go-to airplane. The Captain Sim 727 was my go-to aircraft when I was a young lad. When FSX first came out, that was the first payware airplane that I ever bought. You know, I was just a young kid. I always imagined buying a payware airplane for the simulator, but you know, that just wasn't something. They were expensive even back then, like $60 for just a one airplane back then when I didn't have control of my own money. Yeah, I have thousands of dollars worth of simulator equipment sitting in front of me, so now that's not a problem anymore, so I will just buy any airplane that I choose. So I will fly anything. Heathrow to JFK with a Cessna. Don't threaten us. We will cross the Atlantic in a Cessna. Foot. We'll do it, man. I'm half past a boy, a quarter past a man approaching old man, so am I. You know, I just said it recently. I'm going to go ahead and make another 90-degree turn here. I just said it the other day. I graduated high school 10 years ago, guys. That is just vile. 10 years ago. Whew, man. Where has the time gone? What happened? Geek, when did you graduate high school? Or when were you in high school? When were you an 18-year-old young geek? What was the year? We wish to know. That's if you're comfortable telling, of course. If you're not, I completely understand. 2010 he graduated. Hey, so he's only 2 years older than me. Three years older, rather. I graduated in 2013. He's 30, I'm 27. Alright, cool. It takes a while to learn those systems, and yeah, sim equipment is very expensive, but you make your money back on a sim. Absolutely. And that's always how I've ever taken it, was, you know, the sim experience is just something that you have to understand, and unfortunately, if you're not into the hobby, you will never quite understand it. Aviation itself is just such a unique thing to be into. You know, it's one of those pioneering things that's just, you're always going to need. It's just like being a truck driver. You're always going to need a truck driver. You're always going to need a pilot for an airplane. You're always going to need that. So it's just one of those careers that's just bar none for me. And I've already said to myself many times in my personal life, in the future, I am going to get my pilot's license, and I will be a pilot. I will be able to add that title to my name in the future. It is a goal of mine, so everybody be prepared for that. And maybe I'll document that in the future as we keep going along with our streams. We got to get our ILS radio all set up here. We are going 110.70 for our ILS frequency. We're going to go ahead and get that already into the active. 110.7. Oh, I messed up. 110.7. What is going on? Why will it not let me put in my, There it goes. Okay. Approach mode. Alright. We are at 4,000 feet, which is exactly where we need to be. We're just going to capture the ILS here momentarily and start a turn to the right. This is the last flight. It is indeed, guys. You can make more on a sim than a regular airline pilot? Unless my computer is printing out $100 bills, my friend. I don't know about that. Burner, what's up, my friend? He says, nice face cam you got there. It is indeed. It's been a long time coming. I've wanted a nicer face cam for a while now, which is taking a little bit to get there. There we go. We are established on the localizer now. We are going to start lighting up at the runway. Mike will be back tomorrow, guys. He'll be flying the AN225. That is correct. Yeah, this is the last leg today, guys. It's a Saturday afternoon. I have a wonderful, beautiful woman waiting there in that living room for me to spend the afternoon with. So I would much rather. I love you guys just as much, but I love her just a little bit more. You know what I mean? So I gotta go. I'm gonna go out there and spend the afternoon with her, watch some funny TV shows, have a couple laughs, have a few beers, and just hang out and then have a nice dinner. But don't worry, I will be back first thing tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. where we will be in the Antonov 225 by 80 builds. I get goosebumps just thinking about being able to fly an airplane like that, so just don't even get me started. What a wonderful experience this is going to be indeed. We're going to slow down to 210 knots now, folks. And we're going to go ahead and get our lovely VREF set. There it is. We have 123 at flaps 40 as we approach our runway here on a 20-mile final. 20-mile final. Oh, man. You like the Antonov? You know what? There's just something, about Soviet airplanes for me. Any builds right now, if you're watching, which I know you are because my stream is extremely popular. Any builds, if you are out there, please, for the love of God, you just made the AN224. I challenge you right now. And I looked dead into my 4K Full HD camera that I just acquired off Amazon. 54% off. Please, if you make the Tupolev Tu-144, I will literally buy everybody at that company a steak dinner. I am not lying. If you make the Soviet SST, the Tupolev Tu-144, hats off to you. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and get our sim volume up here as we are beginning to approach the airport, folks. Last leg of the day, we are about to approach our 10-mile final, so we're going to bring our speed right down to about 183 knots, and we're going to bring out flaps 2 coming here shortly. The Tu-144 flew before the Concorde, guys. Although you could say, all that, just look it up. But alright, 10-mile final, we're going to go flaps 2. I don't think the landing rate is going to work either on this one, guys, so just a fair warning there, no landing rate on this one. I apologize, but we'll be able to see it through Volanta, so we will know what our landing rate is, just nothing is going to pop up on the screen. So just wanted to let you guys know, for whatever reason, the landing rate monitor is being a little bit funky with us, but it is no big deal. We'll deal with it, right? But look at that. Fort Lauderdale looking absolutely wonderful right in front of us there. We are on a 10-mile final, everybody, approaching 7.5 miles out. We just put flaps to 2 degrees, and we have our auto throttle set to 167 knots. There goes 2,500. You can hear there by the GPWS, and we are going to get our gear down at about 5 miles out. Once we get our gear down, we will ask flaps position 40 in 123 knots, which is our VREF speed. So enjoy, everybody. Our landing lights are all on. Everything is good to go. We got to get our speed brakes armed and our auto brakes set, though. Go ahead, auto brakes 3. Enjoy the arrival, folks. There goes 5-mile final, folks. You know what that means. Landing gear is coming down. And the sim volume is going all the way up. Enjoy, folks. That's the win there, huh? Yeah. Boy, we are getting some wind gusts, gusting up to 26 knots right now. This might be a go-around, folks. If I can't get this airplane lined up here quickly with our speed, then we're going to have to go around.
Wide slope.
I will let you guys know. We might be able to save it. We might be able to save it.
300. 200.
She's making me work for this one, folks.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Woo! Baby. Ouch. Ouch. Wowzers. All right. Winds are crazy. A friend of mine had a wind shear type winds at MCO. Yeah, that was... Whew. But we got her down regardless, folks. Welcome to Fort Lauderdale. What an absolutely stellar arrival. Challenged us quite a little bit with the winds there. Phenomenal. Welcome, everybody. Man. Alright, guys, you know the drill. That was... Whew. You guys see all that movement I was doing on the control yoke? Man, whoo, boy, alright. You guys know the drill for the last landing. We never pull up to the gate. We're just going to do strict replays on this one, folks. Replay has been recorded. We're going to go ahead and start that right off the rip ski. We're going to get right over here to our first view. Get our speed breakdown first off so it doesn't look as ridiculous. Then we're going to hit the play button on this. Enjoy, folks, the first replay view. We touched down. I hope we didn't tail strike it, man. We had a gust of wind right at the end there that pushed our nose right up. Spirit in Ryanair, yeah. But we were being bounced quite a bit. I haven't taken manual control yet at this point. No, I have. So at this point in the landing, I have taken manual control. But look at that. Ooh, we were getting blown around like you wouldn't believe. Look at the amount of force that I had to put on with the ailerons there, man. She was giving us some trouble. She was taking us for a ride today, but we got her down nice and safe. And I hope you guys know I don't check the winds or anything like that on purpose, so I'd be challenged. But boy, if I didn't earn my wings with this one, folks, then I don't know what's going to make me earn my wings, man. If this wasn't my dream job, then my goodness. I sit with my uniform and captain hat on. You know, I've thought about doing something like that, but Captain Canada kind of already does that, and I don't want to steal from his mojo, so maybe I'll come up with something in the future. But yeah, he already has his cool t-shirt on, so I don't want to take anything from him, you know what I mean? He's a cool guy, so I'm not going to do that. Volanta did not record our touchdown rate, everybody. At least I don't think it did. Oh no, it did. Minus 268. It was expected for that type of touchdown, everybody. That one was quite rough at the end there, but the winds were giving us quite a bit of trouble, so I will take it. I will take it. We're going to go ahead and get another view here from back here. Enjoy. You got a full dress uniform, makes me more professional? Yeah, man, that'd be always something I'd love to wear, but you know. What an awesome arrival. I love that hands-on feature with the yoke and just really having to be so, yeah, like I said, she made me work for this one, guys, every bit of it. Simulator made me work for this one, guys. Absolutely. But we definitely touched down pretty firm. But given everything, we had that just random burst of wind right here. We lowered our power down, we started flaring, there's the touchdown zone, and bam, we got pushed down at the last second. That was almost an A+ landing, but that's alright. It happens. We were on the ground in one piece. What did we say for a landing monitor? Or landing rate, rather? 268 on the landing, so not too terrible, guys. Minus 268. Not quite as good as the last time we flew a Boeing, where we had a minus 65 and minus 35. But that's alright. This is going to be the last replay view, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in day over day, folks. Appreciate every single one of you. Remember, tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, is going to be the Antonov AN-225, the mighty Maria, everybody. Rest in peace to that wonderful airplane. And we're going to go ahead and jump right in tomorrow at 9 a.m. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Appreciate every single one of you, seriously, for all of your continued support. This is going to be the last landing view, my friends. Enjoy this one. We're going to back her all the way up so you can see me battle this airplane all the way down with the winds, and you can really see how much we kind of had to battle her down into Fort Lauderdale. Take care, everybody. Until tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Have a great rest of your afternoons and even better evenings for those of you. Take care, my friends.
Too low, terrain. 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 Too low, terrain.